It's me again, Dr. Keller, and this is the last episode of ADHD and Me. You're going to learn some new things about your ADHD brain. Today, I want to talk to you about response variability. Response means answer or something you do when an adult asks you. It's like one day when you were daydreaming in school and didn't hear your teacher ask you a question, and your teacher said, "You need to respond when I ask you a question." Variability. Variability. Response variability means how much you change your response or answer. Like when your mom or dad ask you what you want for your birthday dinner. And first you say pizza, and then you say cake, but you can't have cake for dinner. And then you say burgers. Your answers are variable. They keep changing. So again, response equals answer. Variability equals change. Response variability equals changing your answer. One way you can change how you respond to a question is to answer really fast or answer really slow. Sometimes you answer a question very slowly, like when you're taking a math test. Sometimes you take a long time to answer. Maybe because it's a hard question. Or maybe it's because you broke your pencil. Or maybe you're looking out the window at a bird. Sometimes you answer questions very quickly. Maybe it's because you already know the answer, like 2 plus 2. Or maybe it's because you hate taking tests and you just want to get done as fast as you can. Other kids go fast and slow on math tests too, but kids with ADHD are working harder to pay attention and concentrate. That means their brain gets tired faster. So they either speed up to finish the test faster, or they slow down because they get distracted by something, like a bird outside the window. Or if you watched episode 1 of ADHD and Me, you might remember that sometimes you feel sleepy because theta waves are moving slowly through your brain. One way to help kids with ADHD respond consistently, which means you're not answering too fast or too slow, is to bring in jitter. What does jitter mean? Doesn't jitter mean fidgeting? When your legs are bouncing up and down because you're nervous or bored? Sometimes jitter does mean fidgeting. And if you watched episode 3, letting you fidget can help you learn because you don't have to use all your brain energy to stop fidgeting. But that's not what I mean by jitter. Jitter means making something a surprise or making something unpredictable. Unpredictable means like when you're playing outside and all of a sudden it starts to rain hard and you weren't expecting the rain, so you get all wet. Or like when you're playing with your friend at recess and suddenly your friend gets all mad and leaves. You're surprised because you don't know why your friend got mad and left. Bringing jitter into your homework that you find boring means finding a way to make it more exciting for you so you'll do better. But I still don't know what you mean. Do you mean I should start jittering around or dancing around while I'm trying to learn my spelling words? Well, that might help you. If you only fidgeted a little, like squeezing your stress ball. But not if you started getting really hyper and running around the house and driving everyone crazy. What I mean by bringing jitter into your homework is to make doing your homework more fun by making it unpredictable or surprising or different. How do I do that? Well, let's say that someone is helping you spell your spelling words. S, P, E, L, L. Spell, spell! Introducing jitter into learning your spelling words means you could make a game of how fast or slow you say the letters. You could use a coin in your game. If you flip the coin and you get heads, you have to say the answer fast. S-P-E-L-L. But if you flip the coin and get tails, you have to say the letters as slow as you can. S-P-E-L-L. It's a game to vary your responses. Response variability. That means you change the way you answer to make learning things more fun. Here's another idea. Flip the coin, and if you get heads, you have to spell the word in a really high voice. S-P-E-L-L. And if you flip the coin again and get tails, you have to spell the word in a really low voice. S-P-E-L-L. Or you can try this. If you flip the coin and get heads, you have to hop on your right foot. S-P-E-L-L. And if you flip the coin and get tails, you have to hop on your left foot. S-P-E-L-L. And you can probably think of a lot of other fun ways to vary your answers. Another way to play this game is to have the person who is asking you how to spell words change the way they ask you questions. They can ask fast or slow, in a high silly voice or in a low silly voice. These are ways to make your ADHD brain work better when you're learning something. When you enjoy doing something, your heart beats faster and increases the blood flow to your brain. Blood brings sugar or glucose to the brain, and it makes your brain work better, especially the parts of your brain that help you remember things. And when you're having fun, the slow theta waves in your brain that make your brain sleepy and tired start to speed up and make fast beta waves. You'll know what I'm talking about if you watched episode 1 of ADHD and Me. And when you're having fun, your brain makes more dopamine, the brain chemical that makes you feel good. Watch episode 2 if you don't know what I'm talking about. Having fun while you're learning makes your ADHD brain work better. And how can mindfulness help your ADHD brain? I mean, isn't this show supposed to be about mindfulness? Well, remember, mindfulness means learning to pay attention in a nice way to what's going on inside you and around you. When you feel too hyper, when you're having trouble with response inhibition or keeping yourself from doing things that get you in trouble, mindfulness can help you calm down. Learning about how your brain works is also mindfulness, because mindfulness helps us to first notice things and then accept things about ourselves. If you watch the first 2 episodes of this series, you might start noticing that your ADHD might often feel sleepy or bored because you learned that slow theta waves are usually moving through your brain. And the feel-good brain chemical, dopamine, is low in your brain. If you watched episode 3, you are now more mindful about your fidgeting. You learned that it is easy to let yourself wiggle and fidget when you're doing schoolwork because that helps you concentrate. If you watched episode 4, you became more mindful of your amygdala, that old part of your brain that keeps you safe by fighting dangerous things like snakes or running away from dangerous things. In episode 4, you also became mindful that waiting in line is sometimes very hard for you because the amygdala gets nervous. It's constantly looking around to see if there's any danger. And mindfulness can give you something to do while you're waiting that calms yourself down. And today you learned that response variability, or changing how you respond or answer questions, fast or slow, loud or quiet, can make memorizing or learning things more fun and your brain works better. I'd love to hear if you tried any of these tips and if they helped you better understand your ADHD brain and how it works. You can email me at julia@mindfulyouthinstitute.org. Bye for now, and remember to take care of and love your ADHD brain. Thank you for joining us, and thanks to John McKenna, LBTV, and the Mindful Youth Institute. For more information on the Mindful Youth Institute, go to mindfulyouthinstitute.org. I look forward to connecting with you on social media. On Instagram, you can go to Dr. Keller Coach. On LinkedIn, you can go to Julia Keller Mindful Youth Institute. If you want to contribute to our cause, please go to Charity GoFundMe campaign, Help Teach Bullies Compassion.